How's it going, everyone? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In this video, we're going to be talking about the process of upgrading to a Cobra style rear brake setup in your solid axle 1994 to 2004 Mustang GT. If you've already upgraded the front braking components to a Cobra style setup on your 1994 to 2004 Mustang and are wanting even more braking performance, then I would consider converting the rear components to a Cobra style setup as well. This can be done by purchasing brand new parts, takeoff parts, or a combination of both. Today we're going to show you how to convert to a Cobra style rear brake setup using brand new stuff from LMR.com. So featured in this video will be the M2300M Cobra rear brake conversion kit from Ford Performance, gloss black SVE Cobra style rear calipers, and braided stainless brake hoses. Now the M2300M kit includes the caliper adapter brackets, brake dust shields and hardware, rotors, and of course anti-moan braces. These components are specific to the 11.65-inch Cobra rear rotor. This kit is designed to work with 1994 to 2004 solid axle Mustang GTs and require a Cobra style caliper, which is why we're obviously using the SVE Cobra style caliper. You can use a rear caliper from a 94 to 04 Cobra, 01 Bullitt, or an 03 04 Mach 1 if you're sourcing takeoff parts. Now, because you have to install the Cobra style caliper adapter bracket, the axles will need to be removed from the housing. If it was me, I would use this opportunity to replace the axle bearings and seals, of course, if it's needed. With that being said, you'll want to have some fresh gear oil and friction modifier to refill the rear end housing. Along with the gear oil, you will need to have some fresh brake fluid on hand since you're replacing the calipers. Depending on how long it's been since your last brake fluid flushed, you may use this opportunity to flush the entire system with fresh fluid. The car we're going to be working on today is Keeping Calm. This is our 2004 Mustang GT project car, where it recently received a brand new Cobra R brake kit for the front, so we had to add to that and convert the rear brakes to a Cobra style setup as well. If you appreciate this type of content, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way you don't miss any of our future uploads. To begin, safely support the vehicle with the lift or jack stands. Remove both wheels. Remove the E-clip from the parking brake cable. Remove the eyelet from the bracket, and then pass the cable through the small opening in the caliper. Position the cable out of the way. Loosen and remove the two bolts securing the caliper to the caliper bracket. Remove the caliper from the rotor, and then hang it out of the way. Remove the brake pads. Loosen and remove the two 15mm caliper bracket retaining bolts. Remove the bracket from the car. Go ahead and remove the brake rotor. Loosen and remove the two nuts securing the anti-moan brace to the axle tube, and then remove the brace. Use an E8 inverted torque socket to remove the ABS sensor retaining screw. Remove the ABS sensor from the caliper adapter bracket and position it out of the way. Repeat these same steps for the other side. Position a drain pan underneath the rear end. Loosen and remove the differential cover bolts. Gently pry the cover away from the rear end and set it aside. While the fluid is draining, scrape away the old RTV. Rotate the differential to gain access to the cross pin bolt. Loosen and remove the bolt with a box end wrench. Go ahead and remove the cross pin from the differential. Push one of the axles in and then remove the C-clip. Do the same for the other axle and C-clip. Now you can remove both axles from the rear end. Loosen and remove the three screws securing the dust shield to the caliper adapter bracket. Set the dust shield aside. Use a combination of a box end wrench and socket to remove the caliper adapter bracket hardware. Go ahead and set the hardware aside. If you're replacing the axle bearings and seals, go ahead and do this at this time. You'll want to assemble the slide hammer and bearing puller attachment. Position the slide hammer into place, and then remove the axle bearing and the seal. Stuff a towel into the axle tube and thoroughly clean this area. Remove the towel from the axle and ensure the inside area of the tube is free of foreign material. Go ahead and repeat these steps for the other side. Take this time to clean up the hardware that is going to be reused. Using a bearing and seal driver, install the new axle bearing and ensure that it is fully seated within the housing. Install the new seal and ensure it is flush with the housing. Do the same for the other side. Locate the corresponding caliper adapter bracket for the side that you are working on. These are typically marked with an L and R, indicating left and right. Position the correct adapter into place and reinstall the previously removed hardware in the factory orientation. Torque this hardware to 45 to 50 pound-feet. Align the holes in the brake dust shield with the caliper adapter bracket. Install the retaining bolts and torque these to 6 to 9 pound-feet. Repeat these steps for the other side. At this time, you can reinstall both axles back into the housing. Push in on either one of the axles so you can reinstall the C-clip. Reinstall the C-clip and then pull out on the axle. Of course, do the same for the other axle. Reinstall the cross pin into the differential. Reinstall the bolt and torque it to 15 to 30 pound-feet. Clean the differential cover and apply RTV silicone to the mating surface. Make sure you position the bead on the inside of the bolt holes. Before installing the differential cover, ensure that the mating surface on the rear end housing is clean. For this install, we went with an SVE differential cover for keeping comp to add a little bit of bling. If you would like to watch the detailed installation steps for this cover, check out the link in the description. Go ahead and install the cover and then hand tighten the hardware. If you're reusing the stock cover, torque the hardware to 28 to 38 pound-feet in a crisscross pattern. Install the brake rotor and use a few washers and a lug nut to hold the rotor in place while you install the rest of the components. Reposition the ABS sensor into the caliper adapter bracket and reinstall the bolt. The torque spec for this bolt is 40 to 60 inch-pounds. Install the anti-moan brace provided in the M2300M kit, but don't torque the retaining nuts just yet. Apply some blue thread locking compound to the caliper bracket retaining bolts. If you're using a caliper from another car, it's important that the caliper piston is fully compressed before installation. This is done by using a piston compressing tool that has an adapter plate with drive pins. These drive pins align with the two notches in the caliper piston. Assemble the tool and then rotate clockwise to compress the piston. If you need extra leverage when rotating the tool, you can use the appropriate socket and socket wrench. Whenever the piston is fully compressed, ensure that the two notches are oriented in the 12 and 6 o'clock positions in relation to the face of the caliper. If it isn't, simply rotate the piston counterclockwise until the notches are in the correct positions. This is to ensure that the locating tab on the back of the brake pad is properly seated during reassembly. To make life easy for us, we're installing an SVE Cobra style brake caliper and bracket. Position the corresponding caliper and bracket for the side that you are working on over the rotor. Remember, the bleeder always faces up. Slide the anti-moan brace toward the caliper bracket and loosely install the retaining bolts. Run these down by hand and then torque the bolts to 70 to 95 pound-feet. Go ahead and torque the nuts for the anti-moan brace to 40 to 45 pound-feet. While you can reuse the existing brake hoses for the Cobra style caliper, we opted for braided stainless hoses to match the front. If you're using a new caliper like we are, remove the plug from the port in the caliper. Position the corresponding brake hose for the side that you are working on into place. Install a crush washer over the banjo bolt, pass the banjo bolt through the distribution block, and install another crush washer. Thread the banjo bolt into the caliper by hand, and then tighten the bolt. Locate the brake hose to hardline connection. Use the correct size line wrench and loosen the tube nut. Remove the hard line away from the brake hose and cap the line. Loosen and remove the bolt securing the brake hose bracket to the frame rail. Now you can fully remove the existing caliper and brake hose. Reinstall and retighten the brake hose bracket retaining bolt. Remove the cap from the brake line and thread the tube nut into the brake hose by hand. Fully tighten the fitting with the line wrench. Go ahead and clean up any residual brake fluid. Reinstall the parking brake cable through the opening in the caliper. Reinstall the E-clip and then reposition the eyelet into the bracket. You can repeat these same steps for the other side. Fill the differential with the correct fluid and friction modifier. Apply Teflon tape or a high temperature thread sealant with PTFE to the fill plug. Reinstall the plug and fully tighten. At this time, you can go ahead and push some fluid through the rear calipers. Start at the passenger rear caliper and then move to the driver's side rear caliper. Reinstall the wheels and torque the lug nuts to spec. Get the car back on the ground and then go for a drive to properly burnish or bed the new pads and rotors. After that, you're good to go. All right, people, wrapping things up. This is a great conversion for solid axle Mustang GTs, especially if you've already converted the front to a Cobra style setup like we've done here on Keeping Calm. The overall braking performance and stopping power is considerably better than the non-Cobra components. And now that I've driven Keeping Calm with the M2300X Cobra R front brake kit and the Cobra style rear brake conversion components, this is by far one of my favorite all-time braking setups. As always, I hope you all found value in this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. As always, for the most up-to-date product information, pricing, and availability on anything in the video, please reference lmr.com. We're signing off for the day, so we'll catch you guys in the next one.